What is the average profit margin of a managed service provider? And the answer might actually shock you because I had to do a ton of research to get good answers. And I've been talking to hundreds of MSPs to bring you the best information possible. My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing training, or even some business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to mention just one quick thing. Down in the video description, there are some super helpful links. Some of those links are to our new masterclass. I'm super excited. It's a 3-part masterclass. It is loaded with information. I would truly, truly recommend going and checking that out, as well as some other helpful links, the resources area that we have with a bunch of helpful resources, including one that I'm going to relate to in this video so we can have higher profits. And come hang out in the Discord community, growth-generators.com/Discord. So let's talk about profits, because ultimately, right, we all want to make as much money as possible. We wouldn't go into business if we didn't want to make money, and having an MSP is our way of making an income, right? That's exactly why we're building one. And the nice part about MSPs is we have something truly, truly unique. We have a beautiful relationship with our customers. One, when we bring on a new customer, now the new math says that a new customer will last between 7 and 20 years. That is a tremendously, tremendously long time. There is no Fortune 500 company or any business on the planet that wouldn't want to have a loyal customer paying them for 7 to 20 years. That is a tremendous, tremendous amount of information. And the second part of that is we have a truly incredible opportunity where the more our customers grow, the more we actually grow. It's something truly unique. In most cases, that's not always going to be the case for most businesses. As we provide a better service, our clients also do better, and because of that, they end up growing, and then we end up growing, and that's the coolest part about this process. So what is the average profit margin? I'm sure you're ready to go through that, but there's 2 actual profit margins that we need to look at. We need to look at gross profit margin and then net profit margin. There's a whole mathematical equation that this breaks down to. Now, your gross profit margin typically for most MSPs is between about 40 and I've even seen up to 75% profit. And I know that's a lot of profit for the business, but this is your gross profit. Now, you have your net profit, which is calculated slightly differently, which is a good bit less. That is between 10 and about 30%, depending on the type of business. Now, to figure that out, all right, we have gross profit, which is the revenue minus the cost of goods sold, right? For example, I'm just going to use hardware because it's super, super simple, right? We all know that if we buy a computer for Dell, let's say for ballpark numbers, $1,000, right? And then we sell that computer to a client for $1,100, maybe $1,200, right? Our gross profit on that, and hardware, there's less profit, I know, but our gross profit on that is only about $100 to $200 because we have the revenue minus that cost of goods sold. But now we have net profit, which net profit is really the number that you want to look at, because you might have a friend that has a business and, hey, we have a gross profit of 75%. You're like, wow, that's amazing. And then you realize the net profit is dramatically different. So net profit is, to make up net profit, you have revenue minus cost of goods sold plus operating expenses plus other expenses, right? So you have to group cost of goods sold, operating expenses, and other expenses, and then remove the revenue from it. And that's truly how you get to net profit. And the reason that is because you have to keep the lights on. You have to pay for your RMM tool. You got to pay for your PSA tool, cybersecurity, insurance. All of those good things come into play. Thus, while the gross profit, right, is this tremendous amount, by the time we actually whittle it down and take away all the expenses that we have, plus the actual cost of goods sold, that might be significantly less. A good rule of thumb, especially if you're running an MSP, is between 10 and about 25 to that 30% mark, depending on what kind of business you're running and what industries you're focused on. And this brings me to the next part of this, right? What affects good profit margins in this entire thing? And I did mention down below about the resources area. And the reason why I say this is because number one thing I see is MSPs not having a good pricing idea and a pricing strategy, right? We have all of these free resources from an MSP sales sheet, but specifically, we have literally a MSP pricing masterclass. It's about 45 minutes long, and you can go through it. In that masterclass, you also get a pricing calculator to give you the right information. Now, there's some other areas too that really impact your profits, right? The size and the scale of your business is tremendous. The bigger the business, typically you have a lot more overhead, a lot more expenses. You have employees, cars, fuel, more insurance because there's nothing that you can get out of that, more taxes. Granted, you could hire an accountant and get better at taxes, but truly, typically the bigger you get, it's almost like this bell curve, right? In the beginning you have nothing and your expenses are really high, and then as you grow that increases, but then as you continue to grow, your expenses actually decrease a little bit because you can make scale work for you. It's this weird kind of parallax that actually happens with your business, but the size and scale are tremendous factors when it comes to growing and growing your business, but also affecting that profit margin. Number two is going to be strategy and the pricing strategy around it. Are you charging enough? Are you leaving money on the table? What percentage of proposals are you actually closing? And do you have a good sales process to bring somebody all the way through the entire sales process is really important. Next is going to be service offerings, right? There are so many different service offerings that we as MSPs can offer, from phones to managed services, cybersecurity, backup. Truly, the list goes on and on. But some services, as we all know, are way more profitable than other services. We have to make sure that while we do offer a variety of services, we have the best ones. Little fun fact for you, this goes with every single business for the most part that we walk into. Whether it is the local restaurant, typically the images that are on the menu are the most profitable items or the fastest to make, allowing it to be more profitable. But even when you're going shopping in a retail store, right, they want to go through and offer the best services possible, right? I just had a buddy of mine go to Micro Center, and at Micro Center, they offer computer diagnostics, and I didn't have time, and he doesn't live near me for me to look at it, but they offer a diagnostics thing. So not only can they sell you the new components, but they could diagnose the issue, and then you can pay them for it additionally. And then they have, their warranties or insurance and all of that to add on to it. But truly, at the end of it, the most important thing is cost management. Costs can get out of control. We can subscribe ourselves to death. We could just think like, hey, I think I need this. Let me just buy. I just bought a brand new Elgato teleprompter, right? That's another cost associated with running the YouTube channel, and I've yet to set it up, but it's coming. Well, it's here, and it is coming in the near future, but all of those costs do increase, right? And we talked about that cost of goods sold, right? Operating expenses, your OPEX stuff, and continues to compound, thus causing you to have lower profit margins. But how do we actually increase that, right? You're here, you want to learn more, you've already taken time to hit the like button and that subscribe button and that notification bell, but we want to increase our profit margins in the MSP world. We want to get them as big as possible so that way we can truly make as much money as we possibly can, right? The number one thing truly across the board is improve efficiency with automations, with standard operating procedures, and trying to cut out the fat. Believe it or not, in a lot of ways, firing the worst clients is usually a good thing. It sucks to do. Don't get me wrong. I'm about to do it myself for some legacy customers, but trimming the fat to be more profitable is always going to be a good thing. I promise you, the more efficient and the more automated we can possibly be, the better off we're going to be. Next is going to be optimizing pricing, which I already hinted at before. We have to make sure that we are going through and doing and having the best pricing possible. Now, your price can change dramatically over time, right? And you might want to increase your price and increase your price and increase your price and increase your price, which is fine. But we have to make sure that we're truly getting the best price possible to our customers. And the best price doesn't always mean the cheapest. The best price means the price matches or exceeds or better yet, matches or is less than the value that the customer is truly getting. Sometimes it could exceed, right? But we want to make sure that the offering that we have, right, and the price are at least comparable. So when we go into a customer and say, hey, we cost this much money, they fully understand that. And it is truly, truly important. Next is going to be upselling and cross-selling. Trust me, I promise you, there's plenty of ways to upsell and cross-sell. This is probably one of the new things that I'm talking about the most. But from threat hunting, right, and threat detection, more than just your basic antivirus and cybersecurity packages, but there are so many other vendors that we can get involved in to help benefit our ideal customers, right? It is really, really important that we take that, we internalize that, and then we say, what's the best thing for our customers? And then after we've made up our mind, we then present it to them to hopefully increase our profits. But upselling and cross-selling is huge, and there's plenty of money to be made, from smart technology to hardware to just, hey, we could take that off your plate. One of my favorite ones, if you're not already offering it, vendor management. Hey, we'll manage all of your vendors for you. Some people include that in their packages, and whatever is either way is totally fine. Hey, we'll take over your phone support for you. You never have to deal with the telecom agency again. It's going to cost you $2, $3, $4 per phone. It could be very, very well worth it. And last but not least, what the big money firms are the best at, and I hate to say it, but reducing overhead. The more you can cut out of overhead, your operating expenses, whether that is getting rid of bad employees, replacing employees with better employees for similar salaries, right? That can be more efficient, allowing you to scale. But truly reducing overhead. Do you really need this super big office building? Do you really need everything to go above and beyond? And only you can make that decision. But truly reducing overhead, especially those monthly bills that come through the door. Granted, we live in a subscription-based world, and everything that we do in the MSP world is subscription-based. But the more that we can reduce that, the higher profits we are going to enjoy. And that's truly the best part about owning a business. So I hope you guys found some value in this. I know I teased at it before, but please, I really appreciate you guys taking a second to hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. If you learned something, if you don't agree with me, heck, even if you agree with me, leaving a comment down below tremendously helps the algorithm out. And other than that, come hang out with us in the Discord. If you're ready to take your MSP to the next level, check out the pricing masterclass, or heck, jump right into MSP Heroes. I'd love to be able to help you grow. There will be links down below. At the time that you're actually seeing this video, I will be on my second trip of my 2-week stint in Alabama. So I might be doing another video, hopefully in a slightly nicer, I shouldn't say hopefully, a nicer Airbnb. Maybe you'll be there, maybe you won't be there. I'll probably make a video or two just for because I enjoy traveling and making videos. Love the heck out of you guys as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video.